10 years ago, I purchased this Philips IPS monitor, 3440 by 1440, 60Hz. 2016 me was blown away by this technology. It was amazing. Coming from a 27-inch 16 by 9 monitor, my mind was blown. Fast forward to 2025 and a friend of mine just gets a brand new OLED TV. We're watching a movie on his OLED TV. After years of drooling over the idea of getting an OLED monitor, I crack under the pressure and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna buy an OLED monitor. I managed to find a deal for the Alienware AW3425DW, a little bit of a mouthful. It's too good to pass up on. I buy the monitor with an estimated delivery date of the 24th of December. The date is the 23rd. I'm eagerly downloading all of the games on Steam that I'm going to play again. I'm making a list of the movies and TV shows that I'm gonna rewatch. It's like watching them again, playing them again for the first time, because I'm playing them on an OLED. However, as the day progresses, I begin to feel a little bit anxious. I still haven't had a shipping notification, and I know these things can sometimes be a little bit slow to update. You know, they'll tell me about it later, or maybe they'll tell me about it tomorrow, I don't know. It's the 24th, and I'm out for a walk, and then I get the email from Dell. All my fears melt away. This is it. This is the email telling me what time today I can expect to have my monitor. It is not an email telling me what time I can expect my monitor today. It's what time I can expect my monitor, period. Since I'm out on my walk, I very briefly read the email and I just see the 27th and I'm thinking, makes sense. It's the festive period. I'm sure they're super busy and they just want to go home and have loads of food and drink loads of alcohol and whatever else Dell employees are doing over the festive period. In the grand scheme of things, 3 days is not that long to wait. So whatever, fine. I put my phone away and I carry on my walk thinking, sucks, not getting my monitor today, but 3 days? That's until I get home and I reread the email again. And that's when it hits me like a ton of bricks. It's arriving on the 27th of January, not December, not 3 days away, but a month and 3 days away. How could it be delayed by that much? I know there are shortages. RAM is like £1 million or something, I don't know. But a month and 3 days? How did you not notice when I purchased the monitor? It was then that I fell into a deep depression. Looking back, I think I went through the 5 stages of grief. Denial. As the days go by, I start trying to convince myself that maybe I would not have been happy with the AW3425DW. Maybe I would have just gotten used to it. As we all get used to new things that we buy, there's that little initial high where you feel on top of the world. And then a few days later, it becomes your new normal. Like, sure, the black levels would have been nice, and the 240 hertz increase from my current 60 hertz would have been pretty nice. But maybe after like 2-3 days, I would have got used to it, and I'll be looking for the next high. What if I started doing drugs? Anger. The more I used my current monitor, the more frustrated I became. I would stare at the monitor for what must have been just a few minutes, but it felt like hours. Mesmerized by the IPS glow of my monitor. This really wouldn't be that bad if just the black levels were just a little bit better, a little bit deeper. Hell, at this point, I would have taken a VA panel. This is when my descent into madness truly began. In a desperate bid to improve the black levels of my monitor, I start using it exclusively with sunglasses. But something just doesn't feel right. It's then that I began trying to emulate the fringing that a QD-OLED would get on text. Yet still, it just did not feel right. It must have been the refresh rate. Of course, yes, the refresh rate. Bargaining. I attempt an ambitious overclock of my monitor, 240 hertz, out of range. I didn't expect it to work, but such was my madness that I had half hoped that by some divine act, it would work. I try 144 hertz, out of range. 120 hertz, out of range. 90 hertz, out of range. 80 hertz, out of range. 70 hertz, out of range. 65, 64, 63, 62, out of range. It's then I try 61 Hz, and oh my god, it works. I can't believe my eyes. The increased contrast from the sunglasses, the beautiful fringe text, and the buttery, smooth 61 Hz. I'm deluding myself. And I know I'm deluding myself. Depression. I sit, staring at my monitor. No sunglasses, no French text, no 61 Hz refresh rate. I have no desire for contrast, for higher refresh rates, for HDR. My only desire is for contentment. I desire to go back in time and prevent myself from ever ordering the AW3425DW. I browse the ultrawide master race subreddit. I see posts from those in more fortunate positions than myself. I want to be happy for them, but I know in viewing these posts, I am making things ever so much worse for myself. As much as I love this community, I have to force myself to leave the subreddit. I open the order page. Dare I cancel the order? What kind of example would I be setting for my cat if I did? Acceptance. I step outside and I look up at the night sky. I almost stumble over in disbelief at the stunning black levels. The contrast astounds me. It humbles me. I come back inside and take one last fleeting look at my monitor. And I know I can no longer use this monitor. It's then that I position my phone in front of my monitor. It may be small, and it might not be the sharpest display, but I can finally use my computer with an OLED display. Hell, I don't even need that AW3425DW anymore. I've got this! I had found both peace and acceptance of my position. I make a promise to myself to go outside more, experience nature, enjoy the little things, enjoy that beautiful contrast of the night sky. It's then that I received the email. Oh my god, it's arriving tomorrow! Holy shit, fuck everything I just said. Fuck you, nature, fuck you, shitty little phone, and most of all, fuck you, night sky. Your blacks aren't even that deep because of all the light pollution, sucker! Excuse me? What do you think you're doing? Is that yours? Is that your AW3425DW? Fine, it's yours. My god. It's not even turned on and it looks stunning. Oh my god. Wow, look at this fluff. So, what do I think? The first thing that struck me was the pure, divine beauty of this stretched out Windows 11 logo on this pure black background. Such magnificence, such grace, so many possibilities. My flying toasters are truly soaring through the heavens now. I've gained the ability to create the most stunning pieces of art, the most stunning recreations of the night sky. During my extensive research for this video, I was worried that ambient light would destroy the contrast of not only my panel, but also my artwork. I'd feel like I was, once more, using an IPS panel. In my experience, both during the day and also in the evening, if I set my lights uncomfortably bright, then yes, there would be a noticeable but not IPS-like reduction in contrast. And I've also yet to notice any kind of purple tint, even with a window literally directly right in front of my monitor. The reflections from the glossy panel are significantly more distracting than any kind of reduction in contrast. However, this is only an issue during the daytime. During the evening, reflections are so minimal, I have to actively try to notice them. Viewing angles are astonishing. Yes, the curve will distort the image, but there is no noticeable color shift at all. Even at extreme angles, it's perfect. HDR was something I'd only ever experienced on my phone, and even then, I'd never watched a TV show or a movie with it. Watching a movie in HDR for the first time was genuinely breathtaking. I would periodically pause, turn the HDR off, and then back on again. I'd turn it on and admire the light this fire cast upon my desk, and then turn it off and witness the fire disappear. I've been using the Peak 1000 mode, and whilst most people online will recommend you use the True Black 400 mode because Peak 1000 uses ABL, I've not noticed any kind of shift in brightness that has been distracting enough for me to switch to True Black 400. I'm sure if I was to pause at a particularly bright scene and switch between Peak 1000 and True Black 400, I would probably notice a difference. But for myself personally, the dazzling highlights in a shadowy scene on Peak 1000 is worth the sacrifice in overall brightness. Speaking of brightness, I think this panel gets plenty bright. I very rarely have to set the brightness above 50%. Maybe if the sun was shining directly through my window onto my monitor, I might push like 60 or 70 or something. But even at the time of writing this script at 1 PM, whilst plenty bright outside, I had the brightness set to 20%. And that's not just me trying to be conservative and care for the little OLED baby. It's just what I find comfortable and usable. If you're sensitive to PWM flicker on OLED displays, I can say, as someone who had to return the S23 Ultra because it gave me headaches and eye strain, I've had no issues with this panel yet. If I record the screen in slow motion, I can see that yes, there is a flicker, especially at lower brightnesses. Text clarity is a major weakness of this display, though supposedly you can fix it with a few tweaks. First, disable ClearType. ClearType is your enemy and must be destroyed. Then install MacType. You'd think with a name like MacType, it would be the enemy of your Windows PC. MacType is your friend. Implement the scripture provided by the gods of Reddit into this configuration file provided by the mages of GitHub. Links in the description. And you will supposedly notice a small but meaningful improvement to text. If the application is willing to play ball with MacType. It's not perfect, and I'm still not sure whether I actually feel like it's an improvement over just turning ClearType off. That's it with ClearType disabled. Now I'm going to go enable MacType. This is it with MacType on. Kind of blurs it a little bit. Interesting. I'm going to play around with it. I'm sure over time it's something I will get used to. Or I guess I could just not wear my glasses. And then text clarity is meaningless. Coming from a 60Hz IPS display, I had long since accepted that smooth motion just wasn't in the cards for me. Now, not only is motion smoother than my own perception of reality, but I can even read contents of windows whilst moving them around. To get the most of this panel, I now exclusively read text on windows that I am actively moving around. Oh yeah, and gaming at 240Hz is kind of cool, I suppose. I've tried to use G-Sync, but I've deemed it as both unnecessary and distracting. When playing games with it enabled, my peasant eyes can't even notice a difference with it enabled or disabled. Only the occasional flicker in menus. Actually, there's quite a lot of flicker inside and outside of games. Now I'm stuck with this stupid G-Sync sticker on the base of my monitor and I'm not even using the bloody thing. Continuing with the theme of nitpicky complaints. For some reason, there's a single downward pointing USB-A port on the bottom of the monitor. Why is it there and not with all the other ports on the back of the monitor? I tried making fun of it for looking stupid, but I wasn't able to get a reaction from it. It just stayed there looking all dumb and stupid and mocking me with its stupidity. The screen is constantly floating about due to pixel shift. Now, I get this is a safety feature to prolong the life of my monitor, but it drives me crazy and I want to turn it off. But you can't do that though, can you? Because if you did, then the panel wouldn't last as long. And then Dell might have to make good on that 3-year warranty. And now we can't be having any of that, can we? So You choose. You either get to disable pixel shift and these other safety features, or you get the 3-year warranty. You can't have both. The more I use the AW3425DW, the less it feels like the deity that I expected it to be. This is due to 4 similar, yet very, very different issues. The text clarity, there's fringing on the text, the text looks weird, fonts. But ignoring those 4 similar yet very, very different issues, what you're getting with the AW3425DW is greatness, near perfection. Going from any other display technology to OLED will fry your brain. Almost like that piece of toast. In summary, this is what I would have to say if you're on the fence about buying the AW3425DW. Get the fuck off of my fence! Okay, in all seriousness, I know I've joked around a lot here, but light pollution is a real and tangible threat to our health and our wildlife. Find out more information at darksky.org.